Hey, this is the Well Advice Channel too. What I want to talk about today is the topic of the truth about racists. So, for this video, I will explain in a simple and straightforward way the truth about racist people so anyone can understand it, even those unfamiliar with this topic. Um, so, you will find out the truth about these people when it comes to what a bunch of losers these people really are, okay? So, now I mention that, let's get started. So when it comes to the truth about racist people, when it comes to exposing what a bunch of losers they are, is that when it comes to explaining what I mean by they're losers, okay, is that they don't even stay true to their principle. In other words, they're hypocrites, okay? Because these people hate black people so passionately. They say we've never contributed anything to society, this and that, and so on and so forth. And you can look at history books how intense the hatred they have for us. Yet when I go on their YouTube channels and I look at their favorites list, I see all this black shit there. And I'm not making this up. I'm actually, like I said before, the name of this video is the truth about racists, okay? So I'm exposing these people, okay, to be quite blunt and honest with you, because these people piss me off. Especially after that Lily Gaddis video I did where I talked about the truth about Lily Gaddis, and I actually went on some of the accounts of these people, who are giving me hate comments and saying she's right. Black people are N-words and niggers and, and all blah, 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 blah. At least that's their way of thinking, all that type of shit and all the racist stuff. Yet you go on their channel, and I've been on some of their channels. Yes, I have, and they have black music on there. I actually went on one channel. Some guy clearly said something blatantly racist for that video, and I actually saw, for crying out loud, a few rap music videos in his favorites list. Okay, and let me explain. What I mean, why it shows what a bunch of losers that they are in full detail. Okay, in other words, back to the main point. Okay, if you haven't really gotten it. Okay, is that when it comes to exposing what a bunch of losers racist people are. Okay, is that the fact that they hate you so much. The hatred is so intense. These people, if they could do what they wanted to do, like in the past, the things that they would do to you as a black person would probably maybe even go beyond like the stuff you see even in the worst horror movies. And what I mean by worst horror movies, I mean like the most glorious, terrible horror movies, okay? I have read their I know about these type of people, I know about history. These people hate us with a divine passion. Yet they can't resist the urge to listen to black music, okay? Which is something I've actually seen. And I've been on a lot of racist people's channels, okay? Specifically their favorites list. Because I'm just proving what a bunch of losers these people are, okay? And I've been all over the place. I've been, on conservative channels. I've been on these videos about black crime or something channel or something, okay? And I've been on a lot of their channels, okay? At least for the ones that are actually it's their official channel and not just a troll channel. I've been on their accounts and I see these people all the time. In the majority of cases, have black music on your channel. And it's not even like the cliche, okay, well, it's jazz music or some black musician from like the 1960s or 1970s, okay? Like, of course, a cliche, well, these are good blacks sort of type of attitude, which even when you look at the time, you know, when you go back in those days, a lot of those black people, were themselves were against the racism. But anyway, they want to play it off and play, oh, these are good blacks. These are, in other words, Uncle Toms, but a lot of them are not Uncle Toms. But anyway, once you get past the cliche argument about, oh, what about old school black music and sort of stuff? It's not even that. We're talking about rap music we see on these racist people's channels. I'm seeing like Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm seeing, you know, like Jay Z, Beyonce, you know, all that type of stuff on these people's channels, okay? I'm not making this up. I actually see it. And even if you make the argument, well, they just have a few songs, it still doesn't matter. You guys hate black people with a divine passion, but you guys are not even staying true to your principles, for crying out loud, okay? You hate us so passionately, okay? Like, but you still listen to our music. And that's the thing what I find so weird about these racist people, okay? And not only so weird, it just exposes what losers they are. Is that they hate us so passionately, okay, with a passion, and they always say we never contributed anything to society and this and that, and we have such low IQs, yet they can't even resist the temptation to enjoy black music, okay? And this is what I'm talking about, okay? To be quite blunt and honest with you, these people, and I'm not making this up, you can look it up yourself. I want people to look this stuff up. I've been on these people's channels, okay? And I see all this shit all the time. Even for, like I was getting at before, the Lily Gaddis um video that I posted, I went on those people's channels because I know this because I've seen this numerous times before. Okay, you know they hate us and they say we contributed nothing to society's racist people, yet they're still listening to our music. Let alone the fact that a lot of them, the majority of them, watch the NFL, yet they still say they hate black people, which in itself is so stupid because it shows that they're not following a principle or something that they stand for so highly, which makes you question a lot of things about them. Because the truth of the matter is, if you really hate something, okay, common sense would indicate I would want absolutely nothing to do with them whatsoever. I wouldn't even like consume any of the products or anything that they put out there, let alone entertainment, okay? But they still do. They still do. And I'm not even talking about a small percentage. The majority of these racist people's channels, if not the vast majority of these people's racist channels, I always see black music on there. Yet they want to talk so much shit about us and say this and that and this and that, but they're still listening to our music. So it's like, what? So, like, you're trying to talk shit about me and make fun of me for being black and saying, oh, your ancestors were slaves and you're a fucking nigger monkey and all that type of stuff. Yet you guys are still listening to our music. So talk about being losers, okay? If you're consuming something from somebody who is your so-called enemy and is, according to you guys as well, it has accomplished nothing, and you're still listening to shit, then it shows that you're a fucking loser because you're not even staying true to your principle, core beliefs as much as you would have yourself believe that you would stand true to it. Okay? These people are losers. These people truly are losers. Okay? Like I would imagine when you go on their channels, you just see rock and country, but no, some of them don't even just have a few black songs in there. They have like a whole playlist full of just rap music. Yet they're saying things like usual suspects, you guys are monkeys, and you know, black people have contributed nothing to society, and even trying to call us all these racial derogatory terms and stuff, as much as they possibly can, which obviously there's restrictions due to YouTube censorship rules. But anyway, the main point is they're saying the most racist shit you can imagine in your life and beyond, yet I'm still seeing black music on their channels, okay? So that is the truth about it when it comes to these people. And it's not even just that. Even black terminology they're starting to use. Like I see these people, for crying out loud, have the dignity to use the term like, oh, this guy's based. Like Charlie Kirk is based. Yet Charlie Kirk was an extreme racist, for crying out loud. Okay? And saying he's based, but based is a term invented by black people. Okay? Or saying, oh, this particular conservative, oh, what he's saying is fire. Like, okay, really? Don't you know that was invented by black people? Or even the term roasted, which were all invented by black people, yet they still want to make fun of us and say that we contributed nothing to society when not only is that untrue, there is a lot of inventions black people contributed. When it comes to something like, the media, like entertainment, we've definitely made our contribution to it, for crying out loud, okay? But they still want to play it off and say we contributed nothing and this and that and blah 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 blah. But they're still listening to our fucking music on their channels. Like, who are you? Like, that's a question I actually want to ask though. Like, who are you? Like one moment you're trying to play this, saying I'm proud to be white. Next moment you're doing this. So like, who are you as a person? And that's a question I want to honestly ask about these racist people. These people are losers, okay? Because I know if I hated a group of people, which I don't hate any race of people, but if I hated a group of people, I would not be listening to anything from them whatsoever. If I hated, like, for example, Asians, like Chinese people, like specifically the Chinese, okay? I know I would not consume anything from them, but these people still are consuming things from their top enemy, you know? I wouldn't if I was racist, but but these racist people who hate us with a divine passion, they even say things like, "Oh, I wish we could still lynch black people" and all this type of stuff. They're still listening to our music, yet they still hate us. And not just music, our entertainment in general, for that matter. So who are you guys really? You guys are losers. If you guys can't even stay true to your principles, when it comes to your fundamental belief system, then you can't talk shit about anyone in the world for that matter, okay? And that's the truth of the matter for this video. And this is the message I have for this video, okay? So anyway, this is my video. This is all I have to say. To finish this off, I hope you enjoyed it. And just remember, if you like this video and videos like this, remember to thumbs this video up and hit the subscribe button. And this is all I have to say. And I'm out.